453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi Dad, I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with decent clothes? Mom.
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me just pause that right there. That is just such an amazing quote right there. Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Today is a great day. Oh my gosh, I am shaking. You guys have no idea. And a lot of you will be kept in the dark until it is fully done, but I promise you everything that we're going to be doing is for Sebastian Rogers. That is what matters. Nothing else matters except Sebastian Rogers and bringing him home. Not setting narratives, not putting out nonsense. It's all about bringing him home and finding answers. And so tomorrow, as you can see at the top there, we'll be having a special live. We'll be setting up a fundraiser. I can't exactly tell you what that fundraiser is for, but I promise you every single cent will be used to find Sebastian Rogers, and we will bring receipts when that is done, and you guys will understand why we can't say anything until that is done. I hope you can respect that. If you can't, then that is your problem. But we are going to be a part of something huge. In my opinion, it could break the internet. In Sebastian's name when I say that, because I don't care about, clickbait or, I don't care about popularity and stuff like that. I just I do this to help what I can, and we've got a lot. And man, what a great day it is. What a great day, and what a great group of people we have here in the chat. Please hit that like button. This is huge. We'll go over some things again. I know people are going to try to pry and ask, but I'm not saying anything as far as what we're going to be doing. Again, we'll have a special live tomorrow. We'll still go over some things because there's still a lot to go over. I still am finding stuff in the cemetery and school. There's so much, but the biggest thing is that we are going to do what law enforcement should have been doing over a year ago. And what are you guys doing? I mean, honestly, I know somebody in law enforcement's watching. Like, what's going on, guys? Come on. This is going to be embarrassing. Anyway, I don't want to get too upset. But I just can't believe. Anyway, it's a good day, guys. It is. And boy, like I said, within 2 weeks, you guys will know everything. It will be done. Like I said, give us 2 weeks.
One night before, 15-year-old autistic.
So, and again, everybody that's here will be a part of this. You guys will be a part of something a huge domino effect that I just cannot wait. Again, and it all leads to finding out what happened to Sebastian Rogers, which is the most important thing. Not bickering about what other channels are doing or not doing, right? It's Sebastian Rogers, right? Start worrying about what other channels are doing. You're missing the bigger picture. And I've tried to stay on that lane, stay in my lane, do my thing. And thank God I've got a great group of people surrounding me. Again, like I said before, I can't be everybody's friend, but we have such an amazing community that's going to come together and you're going to be a part of something so big, so big. So anyway, if anybody is in here that is not familiar with what's going on, I will play just a quick 2-minute highlight, but I'm telling you guys, within 2 weeks, it is going to be a bombshell. We are going to drop a bomb on these people, and I cannot wait to see what happens. So let me play this first, and we'll be right back.
One night before, 15-year-old autistic teen, Sebastian Rogers, suspiciously disappeared. Approximately 500 yards away, just beyond the construction site, a bright light was captured on surveillance. Figure out what was this light, where it was coming from, and how it connected to Roger's disappearance. And what we found will absolutely shock you.
Come down to where I'm sitting right here. So watch this. Of course, when my light's off, you can't see any.
Wait a minute. What's going on? Muted. No sound. No sound. Wait. Sound is fine. Okay, the sound is fine. I'm watching it on my phone right now. I don't know. Maybe something happened on your guys' side. YouTube. Yeah, it sounds fine. I'm watching it on my phone here. Yeah, maybe there was some skipping or something. Maybe I buffered for a minute there. Okay, everything good now? We can hear? Okay, that kind of worried me. I'll back it up just in case. Was it when I was talking? Because again, there's a little bit of delay. All right, let me back it up. Oh, not that far. Oh my God, boy, when I don't have to see that face anymore, will be a great day. Anyway, let's back it up. All right, thumbs up. Okay, good deal. All right. Just a 2-minute recap. Play this again. I was a little worried there. All right, let's go.
Figure out what was this light, where it was coming from, and how it connected to Roger's disappearance. And what we found will absolutely shock you.
Come down to where I'm sitting right here. So watch this. Of course, when my light's off, you can't see anything. If I turn my lights on, I can see just graves and grass. But imagine for a moment that somebody was there and said, hey, I can't see. Turn your high beams on. Of course, it opens up the whole area. I see more. And what do I see? The monument. And they're telling me they can see it on the camera, just like the footage we've been looking at. Boom!
Sebastian Rogers was last physically seen on camera leaving the Texas Roadhouse with his mother Katie Proudfoot on Feb 25th. Whether he actually made it home that night is highly debated, but what I have recently discovered on surveillance from a nearby camera in Rogers' neighborhood could hold the answers to what may have happened to Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Rogers' home is located here. The surveillance camera that captured the suspicious activity is located approximately here, with 2 cameras pointed towards the east, overlooking the construction site and further. The suspicious activity seen on these cameras took place here at this cemetery and also school. Just after this suspicious light illuminates for approximately 6 minutes, a little before 3:30 a.m., at 3:32, a headlight of a vehicle can be seen moving south in the cemetery. This would not be the only vehicle seen that night. Another vehicle is seen at 3:45, and just 4 minutes later, another headlight is seen at 3:49. Although there is 2 cameras that overlook the entrance to the church and cemetery, as of now, there is no sign of these vehicles seen, entering or exiting, the only main entrance to the south. On the night Sebastian Rogers disappeared, the suspicious light can be seen again at around 3:40 a.m. It is illuminated for around 6 minutes, just like on the 25th. Then after it's done being illuminated, minutes later, multiple vehicles can be seen, driving in the cemetery and at the school. Once again, more suspicious activity the night Rogers went missing. So what is the object that is being illuminated for around 6 minutes on the 25th and 26th, and how could it be connected to Sebastian Rogers' disappearance? Here is a daytime shot from the surveillance camera where you can see the construction site. It is also overlaid with the nighttime shot of the suspicious light source. You can see how the suspicious light is just beyond the construction site in the cemetery. As Silver's on the scene, drives through the cemetery, you can see that the construction site is to his left. As he continues north, he is now in the middle of the cemetery, approaching a loop. As he turns right, you will notice what they call lumber. This object is made out of highly reflective material, like concrete, granite, and marble. This memorial also sits at a slight tilt when viewing from the east, just like the object seen in the surveillance footage. Notice both objects are rectangular in shape. As you can see here, this memorial has no artificial lighting, not in the front or the back, so whatever caused this to be illuminated at 3 a.m. on the 25th and 26th had to have come from another light source, but what? The obvious answer would be headlights from a vehicle, but what we discovered about this answer would prove to be quite disturbing and shocking.
Yeah, I'm just going to say to the mods, anybody that puts muted or something like that, give them a warning first, and then we're just going to bounce. Unless we know somebody that's legit that does have that issue, and maybe there's something on YouTube's end, because, again, but I'm watching on my phone, I can hear it, so. Yeah, exit, try come back in. I just want to make sure there's no people. Again, I hope people wouldn't be trolling, in the name of Sebastian Rogers. I think you'd have better things to do. But anyway, so if you're joining in, I'll kind of update people a little bit as much as I can. But here is just a daytime shot. You can actually see the Columbrium because there's been people that, wondered if this is the Columbrium actually being lit up. You can actually see it during the daytime. It is there. I have hours and hours of it during the day. If I had time, I would add a bunch of different shots from different times of the daytime where you can see it, and sometimes you can see it better than others. This one happened to be a pretty good one where you can see, you can even kind of see because it's not quite sideways from our angle. We got a little bit of the part of the front, the black. I don't know if that part's marble, but yeah, you can clearly see it during the daytime as I overlay it into the nighttime. But if you're tuning in, it is a great day. It is a great day. And I am looking at the mic, and I'm going to see. Cemetery, as of now. I'm watching on my phone, I can hear it. So. Yeah, exit, try to come back in. Okay, every time I play a part, someone says I can't hear anything, I can hear myself. So, alright, this last time I'm addressing this. Unless one of my mods says there's an issue. Anyway, moving on.
Scene here is
because there's so much. Yeah, the Troll Patrol, please help them. I might have to get involved here in just a minute. But yeah, I can see the ones, a couple of them here. If you ladies can see them. Yes. All right. Anyway, unless there is an issue where you have to come in and out, but I don't know. Okay, no troll. Okay. All right. That's the last time I'm addressing that because, my God.
Another daytime shot overlaid with nighttime where you can see the memorial to the right, and in the yellow box is where we see headlights from the vehicle. But what's interesting is the fact that the vehicle seen at 3:45.
All right. So I'm going to play this real quick. The other thing about the Columbrium, it is very tall. We've kind of gone over this. There's a reason why I'm going to be talking about the Columbrium and the latest thing that I found, because there is a similarity to them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll play it here in just a bit. I discovered another thing that lights up at the same time the Columbrium lights up. We see it on the 25th as well as the 26th. And you'll notice there is some very similar properties, the way they're kind of lit up and fade out and their shape. And I've been kind of trying to figure out what this is because I don't think it's a vehicle. This particular light that shows up that we discovered recently, I think it is possibly something like this Columbrium. And I'll go over that here in a bit. But as you can see, the Columbrium is very big. I wanted to show some pictures. As you guys know, we did a controlled test where we had two different teams while Servers was driving around, and then we had another team sitting in the new development. kind of situated here because we can't use the same camera because all the homes are now up and they block the view. So we have to kind of, fortunately, work with what we had and have people set up a little bit closer, but they were still in the same line of sight as the camera. And I was finally able to get a couple of photos and a small video showing a couple of different experiments about how it looks being lit up from one angle versus another angle. And that's very, very important about what, we've been mentioning how Silvers is parked at a certain area and he lights it up, and the team, realized that that's how it looked in the surveillance footage.
Very wide. I also figured out.
So I'm going to play this part, and then we'll get into talking about the new stuff. And then as we get more people in here, again, tomorrow we're going to have a special live show. It'll be earlier. So I'm trying to kind of figure out in my head what would be a good time. I'll know by the end of this live. I'll kind of have a estimated time, but it'll probably be somewhere between I always use Eastern time, somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern time, so it'll be much earlier, and again, it'll be a fundraiser show, and along with that we'll have like links, and you guys can share them, and again, everything will be used for Sebastian. Everything will have a receipt for it when it's done. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But anyway, I am going to play this other part real quick. This is still the 25th, the night before. And here we go.
From a vehicle. But what's interesting is the fact that the vehicle seen at 3:45 a.m. has its headlights facing west on a part of the road that goes north and south. Also, this vehicle appears to be in the middle of the loop on the west end of the cemetery in this location. Shown here is the exact location the headlights were seen. Notice how the road isn't very wide. I also figured out that the headlights captured at 3:45 and 3:49 a.m. are at two different heights seen here. Notice when putting a static line in same spot, one light is higher up than the other one, meaning there were at least two different vehicles driving around the cemetery on the night before Sebastian Rogers disappeared on the 25th. So what were they doing, and how did the memorial site light up?
There it is. What do you see now?
During the control tests, Silvers on the scene and others tried many different things to illuminate the memorial in the same way we saw it on surveillance. But every test, including driving next to it, parking near it, using headlights and other objects such as flashlights, just would not create that same illumination effect until on day 2, Silvers on the scene did this.
I just want to
document where I'm at. Come in the.
I just want to address one more thing. The team that was a part of this, there were Silvers and Silvers 2, and there was up to 5 people doing this, and not a single one of them was Bobby the neighbor. I don't know what people are so fixated with the neighbor Bobby, but no, Bobby was not there. Anyway, Sebastian is more important. Come on, guys. Sorry, this is just to a certain group.
Cemetery this way, go around, it loops around. I took the turn right here and
During Silver's control test, he parked on the west end, in the middle of the loop, seen here on this map. He had turned his car towards the memorial. When doing this, he figured he would try and turn on his high beams as nothing so far had worked up to this point. Upon doing this, he illuminated the memorial just as it was seen in the surveillance. Here was his reaction.
Okay, to document where I'm at, come in the cemetery this way, go around, it loops around. I took the turn right here and I've come down to where I'm sitting right here. So watch this. Of course, when my light's off, you can't see anything. If I turn my lights on, I can see just graves and grass. But imagine for a moment that somebody was there and said, hey, I can't see. Turn your high beams on. Of course, it opens up the whole area. I see more. And what do I see? The monument. And they're telling me they can see it on the camera, just like the footage we've been looking at. Boom!
This spot Silvers is sitting at is the same spot where the two vehicles seen on the 25th were exactly positioned, and what's even more crazy is the fact that one of the vehicles at 3:45 a.m. appeared to have come out of the gravesite in that same spot Silvers was parked, as if they had been backed in, then pulled out and turned south.
Okay, so this is the new light that I discovered recently. We've kind of gone over it. I discovered, let's see, what did I discover? I think I discovered this one a few days ago, and then I discovered the same light on the 26th just the other day. All the days are starting to blend in together. But the timing of this one is very interesting because of what happens when this lights up. And this, obviously, whatever this was, I've been trying to figure out because we kind of have an idea of where it's at, but we don't know exactly what it is, and it doesn't act like a vehicle because usually the vehicles, they move. And the vehicles have usually more of a, as a headlight would, more of a ball, but we don't see that. This has a more rectangular look to it. And again, and it's static, and it just lights up and it goes away. And again, I mentioned this before. I'd seen this, for a few weeks when reviewing this footage, but I discounted it because I thought it was just a home kind of on the edge in the new development, just kind of kicking on a light. And then I realized that when I did some measurements that it's not even close to where the home is on Willow Bend, which is kind of the new road. If you were to see my mouse right there, that's kind of the direction the house developments that were there at the time. So, and there is a retention pond, that one, it's triangular. It is just beyond that, which is very interesting. So here's the daytime to nighttime. And I'll tell you guys what I think it is, because this is something, again, it doesn't react like a vehicle, but it has the same properties and behavior as the columbrium. And I don't think that's a coincidence. And you guys will see what I'm getting at here in just a minute. But here, and of course we'll zoom in, but you can see it start to light up right there. But again, it's with all the vehicles we've seen, the light will usually move, and this one, it doesn't. And so anyway, we discovered this one, I don't know what, 5 or 6 days ago. I think it was the 25th one I found first. And the interesting timing of it is it lights up almost exactly the same time the columbrium lights up, which I don't think is a coincidence. And as you can see here, I drew kind of a line because we can just take the house and the way it's positioned, and then just draw a line, and that kind of gives us an idea of where it's approximately at. And I know I've kind of gone over that, but it is somewhere in this plot in the cemetery, not far from where the corner retention pond is, and obviously not very far from where the columbrium is at, which is interesting. But this thing only stays lit up for 2 minutes. And here is one more shot. This is a daytime shot, and you can actually see a vehicle driving, which would be the Willow Bend Drive. And this is right now daytime with the construction, but you can see the vehicle, one of the construction vehicles driving. what would become Willow Bend Drive. And in this little pocket here between these trees, that is, oh, there's Kate. Katie, you got your window up. Katie, come back. Your window's up. Katie. She never listens. Anyway, I tried to tell her. But as you can see, as we zoom in here, that is where that light is at. But notice the rectangular. Notice it kind of looks, I'm going to do a side-by-side here in just a minute. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But again, doesn't move. I've looked at it 1,000 times. It is stationary. It lights up for 2 minutes and then it fades out. And it almost does kind of the same thing that the Columbrium does, where it kind of slowly fades in a little bit and then fades out. But I'd say it's quicker than the Columbrium. But again, not far from it. I know. I tried to tell her. I tried to tell her every time. I don't know. Maybe one day. So anyway, we'll fast forward this, but here is the other thing, and then I'll get into what I think this is and see what you guys think here. And then as more people come in, we'll kind of update on what's going on, because today is a good day. All right, so you can see the time there on both sides. I've got them pretty much lined up to the second there. And you'll notice on the left is the this newer light source that we see on the 25th and now on the 26th as well in the same exact spot, which is also important, the fact that we see it in the same spot, just kind of like the Columbrium, right? So there's kind of a connection. But this one is very interesting on the 25th because as the Columbrium starts to light up at about 3:24 or 3:23, but kind of right at the 3:24 is when it really starts to illuminate. More or less, it lights up as well, which is very interesting. Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. She got her headbuds in, and she got her earbuds in. But yeah, this is interesting. But notice how it's got kind of a similar shape, right? But this is a Columbrium. Obviously, it's not a headstone. But... And another thing, if anybody thinks it's like some kind of motion light sensor, no, because it does not illuminate on the 27th, the 28th. I was actually this live until we got the news about certain things. I was actually going to show some of the 28th and 27th and the 28th and kind of do like a time lapse. Maybe I'll do that in a future live and show you guys that there's just nothing going on in that cemetery on the 27th, 28th. It is only the 25th and 26th that we see all this activity. It is dead. Other than the fact that since it's windy on the 27th, 28th, the lights that we see, these stadium lights and church lights, whatever, street lights, since they had the storm go through, they flicker a lot. But as far as anything that we would normally see on the 25th, 26th, there's nothing there. So I will do that eventually, but right now we have more important things to do. I don't know if a flashlight would be... So here's the thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing to think, oh, is that somebody with a flashlight? But it doesn't move, right? It's static. So my idea, and I'll show you guys here in just a minute. May need to use the restroom here in a second. But I think it could be, because it has that same properties as this, right? How it kind of slowly fades in and then fades out. It's static. It doesn't move like the vehicles do. I think it could be a headstone, if that makes sense.
Before we put all the pieces,
and that is possibly either a vehicle or could be somebody out there with a flashlight and they're shining onto it, maybe not realizing they're shining onto it, but if that makes sense. And I do think it could even actually be a vehicle sitting there as they kick on their headlights. We don't see the vehicle or the headlights. We just see the reflection on the headstone. Again, I don't know this for 100%, but if you think about it, it has the same properties as the columbrium, where, again, like I just explained, it's static. It slowly kind of fades in and fades out. So that would be my best guess, and I'll show you kind of around where it's at. And there are a few headstones that are pretty big that I do think it could be. And I'll show you guys that here in just a minute. Yeah, a vehicle at a different angle. I don't think it itself is a vehicle. I really don't, because even the lights, that was another thing I was going to do. I just didn't have time because we got such big news. But maybe in a future live, I could kind of show the columbrium, like put those together, and then show like the vehicles on the right, and we can look at all the different light sources and see the similarities or differences, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put this full screen. I'm going to use the restroom. Here is the 26, which also has that same light. So it's as if they did a dry run, a practice run on the 25th, and then conducted something on the 26th. But again, if you're just joining us, I'll tell about our upcoming live show tomorrow and what we're doing. And this is all in the name of Sebastian. So big news coming.
Together, let's go over the night of the 26th. Sometime around 3:10 a.m., the suspicious flashlights in Rogers' neighborhood are seen along with an unknown vehicle doing a three-point turn. Not long after, activity at the cemetery begins to happen, where we see the memorial light up again for 6 minutes. During this same time, we then see a vehicle at the school near the stadium, first heading north at 3:47 a.m., near the same time the memorial is just beginning to fade out, seen here in this overhead view. A few moments later, we then see that same vehicle head south at 3:49, just minutes after the memorial is no longer illuminated. Then literally 2 minutes later, we see another vehicle heading south, leaving the cemetery at 3:51. We first see this vehicle in the cemetery located here in this overhead view. Then a few moments later, we can see it exiting the church parking lot at 3:53 a.m. This vehicle was seen on 2 different cameras exiting the church and cemetery. Keep in mind, this is the only time we have seen a vehicle enter or exit the church and cemetery around this time frame on 25th and 26th. Now, what are the chances that 2 different vehicles would be seen exiting the cemetery and school 2 minutes apart at around 4 a.m. in the morning the night Sebastian Rogers disappeared?
Okay. Let's see. All right. Move this forward. Okay. So here's an overhead view.
So how did the
Let's move to
Into
the
the grave
26 real quick here, and then I'll announce because I know more people are coming in. So obviously that was the discovery we found about a week and a half ago, which was really big. And now let's see. let me find it. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, let's start it right here. Okay, perfect.
Neighborhood are seen along with an unknown vehicle doing a 3-point turn. Not long after, activity at the cemetery begins to happen, where we see the memorial light up again for 6 minutes. During this same time, we then see a vehicle at the school near the stadium, first heading north at 3:47 a.m., near the same time the memorial is just beginning to fade out, seen here in this overhead view. A few moments later, we then see that same vehicle head south at 3:49, just minutes after the memorial is no longer illuminated. Then literally 2 minutes later, we see another vehicle heading south, leaving the cemetery at 3:51. We first see this vehicle in the cemetery located here in this overhead view. Then a few moments later, we can see it exiting the church parking lot at 3:53 a.m.
And I just want to say, you can share your theories. Just be careful on how you don't get very too descriptive about what you think happened to Sebastian. Just kind of make it easier on my mods, because my mods don't want to block anybody or delete comments. For now, just kind of be, more general about what you think may have happened. And please say, in my opinion, if you can, if there's anything that you're stating that someone may take to think is fact, because we don't want to spread any misinformation. Can we find out whose car those were? I mean, someone mentioned,
this vehicle was seen on 2 different,
geofencing, which would be, I think it would be a great idea. Now, I think, in my opinion, with how long they've got to wait, how long it's been, and how, can't speak, how long they've gotten away with this, I definitely think they probably would have been smart enough not to have phones, but it's always a possibility. They definitely screwed up somewhere, right? In this day and age with technology, just like how there's cameras everywhere, right?
Cameras exiting the church and cemetery. Keep in mind, this is the only time we have seen a vehicle enter or exit the church and cemetery around this time frame on 25th and 26th. Now, what are the chances that 2 different vehicles would be seen exiting the cemetery and school 2 minutes apart at around 4 a.m. in the morning the night Sebastian Rogers disappeared?
Okay, so as you can see, this was the 25th that we just mentioned, that light. And then, of course, just about, 3-4 days ago, and they all kind of blend together. It seems like every other day I find something new, but now you can see, actually, let me go back there. So there's the 25th. And that just faded out. It was on for 2 minutes, the light source. Now I know, okay, this is one thing I just want to mention. Sorry, I'm going to back this up here. And this is something that has caught my attention, but I don't think it's it could be, but I don't think it is. Well, I don't know what it is, but it happens quite a bit. So if there's something in the background that flashes a lot, I don't take as much concern, because if it's consistent, then, but I'm going to show you something. You're going to see something on this light here. Okay, so we have the 324 on the 25th, right? At 324 to 326, 2 minutes, this thing lights up. Now, watch the street light. Watch what happens. People have pointed this out. I have seen it. It is interesting, but here's the thing is, see that? It could be possibly something, but it happens a lot. So anything that happens a lot, so as you can see, I'm sure you guys saw that. I am aware of that. But notice, see these lights. Now, it could be that there could be a car. I mean, I don't know exactly this light. It would be around the school, because this is the church right here, these lights. So it could be like a street light, and there's a car at the school. Maybe as it passes by, it bounces the light off the street light and makes it do that, or if the light is, because we're not far from Long Hollow. Long Hollow would be kind of like here. Let me just put the map up here. So say, we're kind of looking this way, and there's like a street light maybe here. It's also possible we have a car and it's setting that off, or maybe even Long Hollow, a car could be coming by. Again, I don't know. That's just my best guess right now. But yes, I am aware of it. And, if there's something consistent I can explain, I will, but I'm not going to, say, hey, I know, there's something there, and then I have no idea what it is. But here we go. On the 26th, the night he went missing, 2 minutes after the car went through the church. So keep in mind, this is right at the end of everything on the 26th at the cemetery. We have this light up for 2 minutes exactly again. From about 3:55 and 30 seconds to 3:57 and 30 seconds, give or take. I know some people are saying Morse code, but here's the thing: is it's not really flashing. But I do like the idea as if it's like a signal, right? Because Morse code, you would need beeps, you dots and dashes. But could it be like a signal, like, hey, we started, or hey, we're done? Here's a better question. Why did it take so long? How come law enforcement hasn't gone through this, right? And even now, after it's been sent to them for well over a week now, where are we at? They've had it for a while now. Well, they've had this footage since, day 2. But clearly, they haven't done anything with it, in my opinion. And now sending all this over to them, and yeah, they replied saying thank you for sending it in. They have not done anything. So we're taking matters into our own hands now. Now I can't get specific, but I guarantee you, we're gonna rattle some cages. But more importantly, we're gonna find answers. But as you can see, it lights up again, just like it did on the 25th. Now I'm going to show you some footage of where this location's at, and I'll get to super chats here in just a minute. But I do think it's interesting that it does happen right after that car left at 3:53. Sorry, my little heater kicked on. So I do wonder, was there somebody at the church? Was there somebody in the cemetery that when this light lights up, that this means, hey, we're finished, we're dipping out, or something else? Or could that still be a vehicle in there that's going to go leave out of the north exit as well? So one more time, zoomed in, and then I'm going to show you guys where this is at approximately. No, Seth won't be a part of tomorrow's live. No, we're doing our own thing. Seth already knows what's going on. Trust me. I know everybody keeps thinking, like, again, as if there's like a playbook or a rule book on how to do this, right? I've never been in this position. I'm doing the best that I can, right? I found the footage. The first thing to do is I sent it over to law enforcement, pointed out everything, right? And we waited for them. We reached out to the church. We've done everything that we can, right? But there's not much response coming back. but there has been other developments. And I told you guys that we've already have plan A through Z. And right now we're just on plan B right now. We've got so many. Oh, see how it's the 26th? Do you see how the light did that again? So that's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't know, and then look at these lights. They kind of flicker, and I know it looks close to this, but they are kind of far away. Again, when you watch the 27th, 28th, and it's kind of stormy, or windy, I should say, those lights flicker like crazy. So that's why I do take note, but again, I don't know what this is. But anyway, I don't want to get too distracted with all this over here. A lot of this is just the tree limbs and branches kind of bouncing around and causing these things to kind of do this. So anyway, where this is located and what I think it is. So one more daytime shot. I'm going to just do this real quick and caught up on super chats. And then, yeah. Kiki says, always respect for you and all the ones helping. Thank you so much. And you guys, everybody here in the chat right now, you guys are part of something amazing and special. And so many of you have been so helpful. And I know everybody's, trying to help. And again, I try to get back to as many people as I can. Again, but I'm just one person. Hey Jude says, Mob Crew, thumbs up. Member for 5 months. Thank you, Hey Jude. Good to see you. Stella May says, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers strong. Yes. It is a good day. And man, I cannot wait. Within 2 weeks, you guys will know everything. And I promise you, it's going to be big. Jules, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. God bless you. And Mystic, thank you so much for supporting the channel, becoming a member. Welcome. Crazy Buck, I pronounced that right. Could it be chance it's a reflection from the pond? I think it's just beyond the pond, but it's not a bad idea. Again, I don't know 100%. I just know I kind of go off what we know so far and what we can kind of, base, the other light sources and what are similarities and what are the differences. And again, this one acts a lot like the columbrium, right? It doesn't move. It kind of fades in, it kind of fades out. But I think you're on the right track. I definitely think reflection could be what it is. Sassy, matching Jules to Kelly. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support, guys. Save some of this for the, because we're going to set up, usually I've only done a couple. I did a GoFundMe twice, I think, in the last 4 years on this channel. I think there's one that's called Give Butter or something like that. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. If you have in the chat, let me know. I think that's the one we're going to use for tomorrow. And yeah. So if anybody's familiar with, I think it's Give Butter. We're going to set that up. I'm setting that up tonight. And then, yeah. And then we'll have a live and then, hit a goal here. Kiki, thank you so much for the $4.99. God bless you. Jules, I don't know if that repeated or not, but if you sent another 10, thank you so much, Jules. God bless you. And Michelle, good to see you. Match with Callie. Chris, you're great. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. But again, yeah, tomorrow we'll start it tomorrow. Yeah. Again, I'll be donating some stuff too as well. But yes. Do we know if the board members have responded yet? As far as I know, they have not, but that's okay because, there's other things that, can be done. Like I said, we've already plotted out. We've already thought about, okay, if this doesn't happen, what do we do next? You know, this person doesn't respond. How do we proceed going? So we've already figured it out. So, save money for tomorrow. Oh, and there's Crispy. So, before I get into the thing, I just wanted to say, I would not be surprised by, in the next 2 weeks, one of you locals or at the store, and you see one of the perpetrators that are involved in this buying ninjamas or Depends or something like that, because, yeah. And if you do, try to get a picture, because that would be great. Now, I'm not telling anybody to follow anybody. Please do not follow stock or anybody. We're not encouraging that. I'm just saying, if by chance you run into them while you're at the store, so I would not be surprised in the next 2 weeks. You know, maybe they can kind of feel like what Sebastian went through before he went missing. Oh, you people are terrible. And I'm talking about the people responsible for his disappearance and what he went through. It's absolutely disgusting what they did to him. And we're going to get answers. But anyway, I'm just saying, would not be surprised if you catch them in that aisle. So, just saying. Okay, so here's a side-by-side, and it's a perfect time to show this. And then I'm going to go to on the location, on the scene of where this is kind of at. But my best guess right now is this is a headstone that's being illuminated. That's my best guess right now. I'm not saying that is what it is. It is very interesting. It's lit up for 2 minutes, almost exactly, on the 25th and 26th. Again, there's so many things that line up with a practice run, right? There's just so many things between the 25th and 26th. And then you look at the 27th, the 28th. You look at the 24th. Nothing going on. It is, and again, I was going to add some of that in tonight's live, but of course, when I found out that certain things were moving forward, we're now going to prepare and get the word out. So I'm going to kind of skip forward here. Actually, I'm going to play this part here, and then I'll show you on boots on the ground where I think this is kind of at, and see what you guys think. What's going on with the diapers? Well, it's kind of I don't want to say like an inside joke, because it's kind of really just disgusting and disturbing. But if you don't know, poor Sebastian was wearing pull-ups. He was a teenager. He didn't need them, according to Seth. But apparently, probably things with what was going on when he was at, under KK's roof. He was, hindsight knows a little bit more about that angle, but yeah, it's pretty disturbing, more or less. I don't want to say forced, because I don't know the whole answer, but yeah, it's terrible, absolutely horrible. All right, so here's just an overview of the 26 that we know of what's going on, and then I'll show you guys a boots on the ground view of everything here, of where everything's going on. But so we have the Columbarium. Again, this is the 26th, the night he went missing. We have that light up for 6 minutes again. So we have two different static objects. Think about that. Not one, but two static objects. And when I mean static, I'm talking about the Columbarium. And if I'm right, again, I'm not 100%, But if this other thing is like a headstone, something reflective, right? We have two static objects that light up, and they're lit up for, an exact amount of time, both on the 25th and 26th. Columbrium's lit up for 6 minutes almost exactly on both the 25th, 26th. And then this object that's somewhere over here lights up for 2 minutes on the 25th and 26th. What are the odds? So there we have that lighting up, and that means there has to be some kind of vehicle or something, a big light source. Now, I wish I would have had time, probably in tomorrow's live. If I do, maybe I'll show you guys some new stuff about the footage that they recovered. Or not recovered, but they realized that they had from the experiment that they did. Showing from their point of view on what they could see. So anyway, and kind of show you why this direction is really important, right? So we have that vehicle. Means there would be a vehicle there. And then think about the timing. While this is still lit up, there's another vehicle at 3:47. So 2 minutes before this thing fades out, driving at the school, somewhere near the stadium. It is seen between the school and stadium, somewhere between here. Again, why is the vehicle over here, both on the 25th and 26th? And then now, I don't know how far it goes in because we only have a little window to see, all these objects and stuff. But then exactly 2 minutes later, as that fades out, and what are the odds as this thing fades out, that vehicle that was seen near the school at 3:49 is now leaving that area? What are the odds? Right? Then we know that there's a vehicle, at least one vehicle, possibly two vehicles, still in the cemetery. And what happens next? 2 minutes later, at 3:51, just after vehicle is leaving out through the school. And here we can see that there. At 3:53, 3:51, we saw it. Actually, this is the one that I forgot. This is one of the new things. It looks like this vehicle kind of does a U-turn almost in the cemetery. I'm sorry. Forgot to mention that, but it looks like it almost does a U-turn around here, which is very interesting because this would actually kind of line up with where this one light is at 3:55. We see this vehicle not far from the Columbrium move. We can tell because it's moving in front of the stadium lights near the bleachers. And then at 3:53, we see it going up the road as it enters into the church area. And just as it does that, 2 minutes after that, there is that light source again, somewhere in this area, illuminating for 2 minutes. And then, of course, we have the vehicle, one of the vehicles, and the timing is pretty straightforward, in my opinion. At 3:59, that vehicle, that was seen going up, 3:59, we can see it going down Long Hollow, which is very, very interesting. Yes, there are 2 cameras. They have a total of, what was it, 12? I think it was. Now, most of those were inside, but I think they have at least 2, maybe 3. Now, I believe they look towards the parking lot area, but that would be huge because if they have that footage, clearly we have at least one of these vehicles. Now, this could be, like a dummy vehicle, or this could be the vehicle that didn't have a license plate, and that's why it had no problem leaving, or they may have changed the license plate. Who knows?
Puzzle pieces all fit together. First, we have to look at.
So let's get into, and I'll read chat here for a minute. Let me just update everybody. Now that we got over 1,000 people in here. So if you're just tuning in, tomorrow, again, I don't know exact time yet. I would say somewhere between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's between noon and 2 my time. I will be hosting a live show. We will be doing a fundraiser. I'm going to be using Give Butter. It's pretty much like kind of a GoFundMe. But I've heard good things about that. I think that's kind of like the big one people like to use now. And with that, I can't say what it's being used for. You guys will know the second we're done doing it. Receipts will be shown, guaranteed. I think we're raising about somewhere around 1,000 to 1,200. I think is about the goal area. That's why I kind of want to wait to see tomorrow to get a little bit more info. And I know people want to ask what's it being used for? What's it being used for? I cannot tell you, but I promise you, you guys will be the first to know once it's all done, and the receipts will be right there with it. But that will be tomorrow. Now, of course, you don't have to donate during the live show. Obviously, I'll just be promoting it, and hopefully you guys will share it. And but it'd be nice to, as we get donations in, it'll be nice to shout out people, because you guys, those people that can donate, and I understand not everybody can donate, so please don't feel ashamed if you can't donate, right? If you're just here in the chat supporting, that's, again, you're here for Sebastian Rogers, and that's what's most important. So, but I promise you, we are going to rock the internet. And in my opinion, we may break the internet by the time this is all done. And although I can't speak on it right now, what we're going to do is only the beginning. This is going to have a huge domino effect moving forward. This is why I'm so ecstatic right now. This is really going to, in my opinion, one, it's going to make law enforcement look really bad, because what are you guys doing? Yeah, Give Butter, I think it's called. Give Butter. It's just like a GoFundMe, but, I've never used it before, but it's supposed to be like the number one as far as like, fundraising site. Anyway, I found it very interesting. Now, I don't have the audio for this. I took it out, but what's interesting is you see where this is cut out? Now, do you see this black fence here? If you're wondering where he's at, let me do the street view. They are, and you're going to notice this fence, and you're going to notice, let's see, actually, let me go up this one here. Can you see the rocks better? Oh, yeah, you can see the rocks better. They're right here. That fence that's like that barbed wire that got cut, that's about right here. And anyway, I don't know if that's a headstone or if that's, or is that the columbrium right there? That looks like the columbrium. Yeah, that's the columbrium. So you can see how far, not how far. It's not far away from this other light source. I'm gonna let this play for a second, because somewhere in here is the area that I'm interested in. But I did find that interesting that barbed wire was cut right there, because it is kind of where this other light source is at. So if you see that little plot of graves right here, that is kind of where that light source is at, in my opinion. Is Tony involved? No, this is something that I have my own team that we're doing. You know, we've got a very small core group, and it's going to stay that way. I'm sure Tony knows. I think Tony is still maybe next to Seth. I'm not sure. Again, we're doing our own thing, right? We're not waiting around for what other people are, doing. We've got a huge lead, and we're not going to sit on our thumbs and twiddle around. Anyway, sorry, it's a little bit longer than I thought, but yeah, this area here. Now they're kind of walking in an area that is close to where this newer light source that I discovered is at. And I was kind of wondering if we could see maybe if there's like a big headstone or something that would kind of match what's being lit up. Now, notice the fence right here so you guys can get an idea of where we're kind of at. Notice the black fence and notice the rocks right here. So they're right here on the other side, like they're looking towards us. Daffy says, "That's great, Chris. I'm proud of you and everyone behind the scenes." Thank you so much, Daffy. That means the world. And I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could get to everybody's comment. But right now we're plowing forward, right? We're blitzing the people that are behind Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. They're gonna have no idea what hit them. Oh, thank you, Cooper. But yeah, I was kind of hoping in this video, he's going to turn around here in a minute. And again, this is close to where that light source is. Let me see if I can fast forward this just a little bit. Okay, they look at that. It's about right. Right here. Okay, I cut it. So now he is standing. So I think he's standing somewhere in this area here. But the light source is something around in here. So he's not far. So there's the church right there. You guys can see it. There's the church. There's that rectangular building that's part of the school. And then there's the whole opening where you can see that, if a vehicle came through, that is where that vehicle on the 26th is coming from. And on the 25th, where it just comes and then it kind of sits there back here, which is interesting. Sorry, I'm getting messages. I got to check this out here and just make sure. Okay. Anyway, this is a great look, but yeah, so they may have a camera. I'm not sure if they have one on this building here. There's two buildings. There's this one. So we're looking at this building right here. So he must be standing. Yeah, so he's standing somewhere about in here. Let me see this building. The camera, from what I understand, there's at least one over right here, and there might even be one over here as well. So yeah, whatever car that exited out on the 26th, certainly a possibility. I mean, it should be on camera. Now, there is rumor that, the vehicle that was in the neighborhood. Okay, this is where I wanted to look. Over here is where I think that light source is coming from. I don't know 100%, but that's where I think. This is why I wanted to play the video. The Columbrium, I think, is right over here. Yeah, I think it's right over here. I wish they would turn left. Turn left, turn left, turn left. Is it so weird that he's in these areas that are where these lights are? I know people are going to speculate that Crabtree had something to do with it. I don't think he had anything to do with it, but I do think he has been turned to the dark side, in my opinion. Yeah, so I think that Columbrium is right over here. And man, whatever that light source is literally right to the left. And I'm just wondering if there's like a headstone that's like kind of tall and rectangular. Sorry, guys. I'm not looking at chat for a second. I'm sorry. I'm really focused on what the hell. So there's the Columbrium right there. I can see it. And man, whatever that light source is just somewhere over here. Give me a second. I'll reach out. Oh man, I'm not really seeing any like big headstones that like are rectangular. And it would have to kind of be by itself, right? Because if there was a light shining on it, then you would think there would be more than one. But then again, we only have like certain windows. Give me a second. I'll read chat. I'll even back it up if you guys see something. I mean, it could be a car just sitting here and there's something reflecting off over here. I don't want to show you license plates. Okay, you can't see it from there. Oh yeah, he's walking right in the area. Yeah, this is it. This is the area. Why is he in this area? This is so weird. So it'd have to either be up on a high point. There is a couple of headstones up here. Oh, that one is big. That one is big. This one that's coming up. Oh, please walk towards it. Please walk towards it. No, 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 no. No, no. Turn right. Turn right. Oh, you. No. Oh, you dirty dog. Turn right. Did you guys see that headstone? That one was probably the biggest one. This one right here. There's 2 trees right there. Okay, I'll pause it here and let's read chat. See what you guys think. That's pretty big. I mean, that would be. Man, I wish he got closer. Oh, he's doing the ghost thing, spirit box thing. Again, I'm not. I mean, I love the paranormal. But I like to see at least when it comes to true crime. I'm more. I need actual visual evidence. Oh, thank you, BMW, so much. Sorry, I'm getting okay. All right, thank you, Kiki, for that info. That is interesting. Yeah. Seth is watching. I mean, prayers for him. But we're doing everything we can. We're looking at we're looking at every angle, right? I mean, you cannot be. I understand his. I mean, I can't. Well, actually, I can't understand his being in his shoes at all. But I can kind of understand why he wants to believe his son is alive, and there's definitely, there's certainly a possibility this event could be, maybe they switched him out, or got rid of evidence. There's so many different ways, different scenarios that could have happened. Let me get caught up in chat here for a minute. I'm just going to let him walk around for a minute, see what you guys think, and see anything. I'll get chat for a minute here. But yeah, please try to save donations for tomorrow for Sebastian Rogers. I do appreciate Angel, I think it's Angel, Graham. Chris, in my opinion, Sebastian was supposed to vanish on the 25th. I think KP got cold feet. That's why that night was duplicated on Sunday. That's a possibility. Sure, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, maybe they tried it once, got cold feet, and then went for it. I personally think this was a practice run, with the 25th, 26th, but yeah, it's possible. And thank you, Angel. Or Angela. I'm sorry, Angela Graham. I'm sorry. I see it now. The words are the letters are small, so I apologize. Jules, again, with the $20 super chat. Jules, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you can, please, as much as I appreciate you donating, if you can, please save your money for tomorrow for Sebastian. You guys are amazing. Little Miss Sharon, thank you so much for the Mob Crew membership. I'm sure we'll be having some special member live shows coming up here. GG. I'm just going to say GG for right now. It's kind of hard to read that last part. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Sassy, thank you so much for everything you do and gifting a Mob Crew membership. And GG upgraded, thank you so much for the support. God bless you. Kiki, Chris, those graves with gravel have crypts pit on them to not sink into the ground. Interesting. Yeah, I have a person that knows a lot about graves And yeah, I've definitely learned a lot. And maybe I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but in a near future live, they also do something with these graves out here where they don't put sod on them right away. So keep that in mind as well, which is interesting. And we actually have evidence. Well, I don't know if evidence, but proof of that. So that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you believe in the spirit box, that's fine. But right now we're just worried more on the factual side of things. Is there a school ahead blinking sign around where light blinks? I have no idea. The lights you see in the background are high up. And yeah. Would the reflection of lights be on a van or RV? Not 100% sure. Let's look at it one more time. Now that we've kind of seen the ground, see what you guys think. Let me get a daytime shot overlay. See what you guys think. So here it is. And so here's a daytime shot. Right, yep. And it's going to be in this area here. Is it plane? Oh yeah, it is plane. Oh, I thought this was the one with the vehicle going by. That's not a biggie, but anyway, there it is. Wish I had the one with the vehicle going by, and that one's the better one. Oh, and here's another thing. Here's a good way to look at it too. So this kind of gives us an idea of where it's at. So the car, right, the 26, when the car goes by, we can see it right there. There's the light, and there it is right there. This is kind of the path that follows, right? Now those are the church lights right here, right? That's the path. So that light is right here, right? So we know that car is going up at an angle, right? We know it's that entire time of what we can see of that vehicle, it is going, it's not straight, right? It's elevated the entire time. I know it's really hard to see it. I apologize. It's kind of hard to really like really isolate it because there's just so many branches and trees, but there it is right there. And I'm going to show you something. This is also kind of give you an idea of where it's at, but you see the vehicle, and of course it's blocked, there's trees, and then you're going to see it about right here again. You'll see it kind of right there, and you're going to see it, yep, there it is. It's slowed down right now, and then there it is again. But notice this isn't tilted. So this is clearly going up an elevation, right? And so that tells us, if we look at the map, and I hate it because the only way I can go into really a good 3D is in this one, but it's got all the trees. But the elevation, I guess we could look at the live part of it. The elevation of that road is, man, these trees suck. But it starts right here, so that car is being seen going up right here. Let's switch this around. I guess you can kind of see the elevation on it. This isn't the best 3D. But you can see how the elevation is. And our angle is kind of like this. So if it's going up, that light, again, it's somewhere about here. Yeah, it might actually be a little bit more over here. As you can see. And there's a negative view of it. Anyway. Yeah. Everything's been looked into. Yeah, seeing the elevation. Yeah, it's interesting to see how that vehicle goes up. Yeah, believe me, some of the stuff you guys are putting in chat, believe me, we know. I'm not saying we know everything, but we know. We know.
Happen where we see the memorial.
But yeah, let's go back to Crabtree real quick so I can read a little bit more chat and see. Actually, this is probably a good view as he walks down. So that road right there, you can see it elevate right there. So we know that's where the car is going. And then, no, don't turn around. Turn around. Don't do that. There you go. Nope. But we can see how it kind of curves around and then it's going to go up. And that's what we see the vehicle. But that light source is here. Oops. Dang it. And so, yeah, whatever it is, there's the road, and that road goes up. It is over here somewhere. It's weird. What would be the odd that somebody's standing out here doing something 2 nights in a row? Again, they're so separated, like 300 feet away. Like, what are the odds? You got somebody over here at the Columbrium, you got somebody over here in this plot of graves, right? Somewhere around in there. A car going through, a car at the school on 2 nights back to back. What are the odds? I mean, what are the odds you got like all these different people, doing stuff the same night? It would just makes no sense. And it's very calculated, 6 minutes the Columbriums light up on the 25th, 26th. Whatever is lit up around in this area is lit up for 2 minutes exactly, both the 25th, 26th. I mean, how many coincidences, have to happen? Right, not a coincidence, but it's not going to matter. And I know some of those people that are behind this are watching, and your time's up. Your time's, I don't want to say your time's up, but it's running out. And maybe running out faster than you think. Kat says, at Chris, would that lid be reflective enough? That lid. Oh, I think. Oh, and there he is in a good spot. I think I know which lid you're talking about. Possibly. Again, my best guess right now is it's like a headstone, but it could be something else. Maybe tomorrow what I'll do, if I have time, the one thing I haven't done, see, this headstone right here is tall, and that would be pretty close to where I think it's at. And that's wide enough. That could be it. Not saying that is, but. And then that's where the road is. Oop, that's a bad pause. Come back. And then you have the road. I know we can't quite see it, but it's right here. And of course you can see the elevation to where it flattens out about right here. So okay, one thing real quick here. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, what time did we start? 5:45. Anything else I can really mention? I'm still kind of just in shock right now, and I wish I could, tell you guys everything that's going on. But believe me, you guys will be the first to know. And I believe it's going to be so big that it will break the internet, in my opinion. And then the other thing I just want to mention is, they think we're going left when we're really going right. And I know you're like, what the hell? But believe me, when I say that we're going to, what do they call that? Sleight of hand. Yes, the magicians do. We're going to keep taking one thing, look this way, look this way, look this way, look this way. And then all of a sudden, something's going to happen over here. And, yeah. And I can't wait to see what happens from there. But anyway, let me see if I can answer some things. But yes, tomorrow, one more thing, if you just came in, tomorrow, live, it's going to be early. Start at 2 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, somewhere around in there. And of course,
before we put the pieces together, let's go over the night of the 20th.
There's another small parking area that sits facing towards that hill. If a car was parked there, be hitting something to reflect it that way. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Stevens. Yes. Like I said, those locals out there, if you're in the store, and you're in a particular aisle, be on the lookout for those people, Crispy, KK, Carly,
the cemetery and school
I would almost be shocked in the next 2 weeks if someone doesn't capture them, on one of those aisles picking up some dependables. Yeah. The art of war, exactly. Exactly. There you go. Oh, believe me, it's going to be a bombshell. It is going to, yeah. Yep. Boom. Exactly. That's all I can say. So please let people know that that can afford to donate. Again, right now I may have the full estimate tomorrow, but I think it's I think may have it at the most 1,200, so just a little over 1,000. It would be the goal. And again, we'll have receipts for everything. I know it's kind of an awkward position not to be able to say exactly this is what it's being used for, this is what it's being used for, but I promise you, the people that have been in my chat, I've been doing this for 4 years. You guys know, because I know there's been a lot of channels that will do like a GoFundMe or some kind of scam. Obviously, I wouldn't be on YouTube for 4 years if I was that kind of person. You guys know, whenever, again, I've only done it a couple times, but if it's ever done some kind of fundraiser, it goes towards what I say it's going towards. And I back it up every time. But I promise you guys, I think you can put your name or you can go anonymous. So, like I says, I think it's just like GoFundMe. So you can put your name or you can be anonymous. And again, we'll shout those people out as much as we can as the donations come in. And again, it'll all be used for Sebastian Rogers. You guys know that. You guys know me. So, again, please tell your friends. And again, once we get the link up, we'll get it shared. And yeah, I apologize for not having a pet outro and stuff like that. I do have that stuff pretty much ready. But again, right now, this is so much more important than anything else. So, but I promise you, within 2 weeks, you guys, it will be a bomb going off. And it will just be a domino effect from there. I cannot wait. So, thank you guys so much for the love and support. Tomorrow, again, when I have a live, I'll try to add in some of that stuff, some of the experiments, to show you guys kind of the angles and stuff. And then of course, we'll be kind of shouting people out. But this is big. I'm telling you guys. And I couldn't do this without you. Kiki, did the board get back to us? No, they did not. But I promise you, that's why I'm saying you guys think we're going left, but we're really going right. And I know you're like, what in the hell are you talking about? But again, this is for all the trolls and for the people responsible. We want to blitz them. So, yep. Cannot wait. Next 2 weeks are gonna be huge. So I love you guys so much. I'm rambling on now. What time tomorrow? I want to be here. Again, about 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'll say 3 p.m. Eastern time, and that's kind of right in the middle. So I'm Mountain Time. I'm trying to do it around noon, between noon and 2 my time. Sorry, like something flew in my nose. Anyway, so yeah, somewhere around there. If you're part of my Facebook group, and I'll even post it on my community page, so you don't even have to be part of the Facebook group. I will post it. I will probably know, if not by tonight, first thing tomorrow morning. So you'll know for sure. Yeah, let the trolls do the thing, right? Again, Sebastian's more important than you guys acting like you're in middle school. Grow up, jeez. And anyways, I'm not fazed by the trolls because I've been doing this for 4 years. It doesn't faze me. I'm so desensitized to that stuff. It just, yeah. So, thank you guys so much. And we will see you guys tomorrow. And again, I will let you guys know. Keep an eye on. I may do it. I don't know if I'll do a Twitter post. I might. Yeah, actually, yeah, I probably will because I'll probably put the link out there as well. So, yeah, there'll be notifications by tomorrow morning. So, all right, guys. Much love. Sorry I couldn't address all the chat and stuff, but there's just so much going on, and I'm still kind of in shock. And I know you guys are really, want answers. Just like how I told you, you guys would get answers about what was being lit up and stuff. I've backed up everything I've said. I'm not perfect, but usually when I tell you guys I'm going to reveal, I do. But you just have to be patient with me. So, And I just went over that, Cooper. I'm sure that was a little bit earlier. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Look forward to that message by tomorrow morning. Much love. No outro. I'm just going to head out because I got a lot to do. So thank you, mods, so much for everything you do. And I'll let you guys know. But yeah, like I said, I'll be early. I do apologize if that's kind of, an odd time for you guys. But yeah. All right. See you guys. Much love.